Nawakarau mesanatakali kinavevanua mesolia nanguitavi minakawakalevu nanomu vengaravi isale sawani kona tawa nguile dhavi.
A gracious woman gains honor. Proverbs 11, verse 16a. For those who don't know me, I'm the daughter of Dr. Meraia Taufa Vakatale Loloma. She named me Alanieta Liliwaimanu Carey Vakatale, not after the school, but after my maternal grandmother, firstly. Secondly, after her dear friend Andinda Vilangan Lau. Originally, it was supposed to be Lillian after Miss Charlton, but after receiving a request from Andinda Villa to extend it a little bit to actually be her namesake as well. My third name is after her friend and one-time teacher, Mrs. Kalera Tukituku. Nowadays, I just ask people to call me Lani to keep it simple. But my name sums up the key influences in my mom's life. Her family, her teachers, and by association, the school, Antizakumba School, and her friends. My mother was a daughter, a sister, a friend, a teacher, an aunt, a mother, a diplomat. An activist first and always, then a diplomat, a politician, a grandmother, a mentor, and so many other things. Many people like to start off or end their eulogies with a vote of thanks, but I would like to start it off that way by moving a vote of thanks to the ACSOG Girls Australia branch for their for hosting this Thanksgiving and memorial service for my mother, for Mummy, and for reaching out to the family and allowing us time to also share a little bit with you this morning. We thank you as well for influencing my mom's life, my Mummy's life, just as I'm sure she influenced yours. Thank you so much for always supporting the family and supporting her throughout these years. Thank you for the many visits, for the prayers that we know that you've been uplifting her life to the Lord in the last few years. And we thank you so much for welcoming her into your hearts and again for this service. I said that my mom was influenced by family, her teachers, and her friends, among other things. Although I was an only child, I never felt it. When I was born, we had my cousin, who many of you will know, Taufa, who now lives in the States with us. Mareza Wanga as well was with us. My cousin, or as many will know, Mekwanga. My nieces from my cousin, Oyada, Salome, who now lives in the United Kingdom, and my niece, Saint Millie here, and a whole lot of other nieces and nephews who I won't be able to name because I know my time is limited. We were forever surrounded by family when I was growing up. Family from Yabu, Batiki, Numiviti, family from Tumbo, Lakemba, Lau, family from Nakalawada, Namara, Ntilevu, Nikawanga, Ntilevu, in Namara, with no distinction ever being made about who was ever closer out of these relatives. They were all family. Our family also extended to her circle of friends, to the many aunts, my other in Lami, Mrs. Kalera Tukituku, Auntie Susi Tisawao, Susan Tisawao, now Auntie Finau Tabakozoro, and in the villa Nganlau, sorry, not Nganlau, and in the villa, but of course she was there. And in the villa Tonganiwalu, who I later found out was my nay. Close as well amongst those friends was the late Anasining Yonbaravi. May she rest in peace, or as we knew her here at home, because they called each other twin. We knew her as Mbumbu Twin. Her friends also weren't just from the school, from her schoolmates, but also those that she worked with throughout the years. Other teachers who she worked with whilst being a I haven't mentioned Mrs. Johnston. There's so many others. The Gibsons and the Tongnivalus that we were with in the United Kingdom. Her friends from the other side of Parliament, and Mansingh, she had a great deal of respect for Krishna Dat. Milton Leonigila was a very close friend of hers, but she also had friends within the business community, those that she went to university with, who visited during the week that we were mourning her loss, like Miss Chimila Sharani. Others, she kept her close links with her friends, like the Mbagwan and Sons family, and that goes all the way back to ACS. Growing up, I knew that Kishore from Mbagwan was always there to help us out when we were, when Mom was running low on cash and we needed a hand up during Mother Olala. So, the friends were actually family. Friends from the YWCA as well. Now, her life was so, when she died, she was 85, but her life was so full. I won't be able to mention everyone. Her teachers were a huge influence on her as well. Miss Charlton, of course, Mrs. Vivitan Devo, Mrs. Kelero Tukituku, all huge influences on her life. Yeah. Many of you will know or might have found out later on in life when it was published that the song from school, Tulu Aniwuki, is actually based on her. She told me that quite young, and I'll just read say some of the words. Tulua ni wuki, tulua ni nro, tulua ni nresu kanambel ni vini wo. Kambata na vata, the romba kira, ziziba na mbamba, e ruivo selevna. That was my mother in totality. Many who didn't know her personally or only knew her as the minister in the SVT government think that she was conservative, that couldn't be further from the truth. When in fact she was a liberal. She was a feminist through and through. I am who I am today because of her. She was always keen to challenge the status quo, not afraid to stand up for what was right, even if it meant that she lost her job. And she taught us that. She was outspoken when she needed to be. She knew when to keep quiet and to listen, and to listen with listening ear and not an ear to try and counter the points that were being shared with her. She taught me so much in life. She taught, I know, many of you who are here, either on joining the memorial service virtually or there in the church at Parramatta. She really valued the connections that she made with all her students throughout the years. I'll share this story. When we left ACS as a family to go to Great Britain for her to serve as the Deputy High Commissioner, we got gifts from different people, but one of the gifts that she kept with her and is still with her today was, and I'm sorry for tearing up. I promised myself I wouldn't do. Was a little turtle, a wooden turtle, and on the back of that turtle was the name of the girl who gave it to her, who was then in Form 1. And her name was, I'm sorry, Emma, if you're still alive, but Emma Loami. We still have that turtle here at home. But that turtle was what started off this journey of collecting turtles wherever she went. So whenever she traveled for the YWCA or for work, whether it was for Ministry of Education, Foreign Affairs, Tourism, Prime Minister's Office, or in her post as Deputy Prime Minister, or afterwards, she always made sure if she saw a turtle somewhere, she would buy it. So we have this bunch of turtles from all over the world, but that was started by a simple gift of a young girl who was in Form 1 in Antilakumba School when we left as her farewell gift to her principal. I continued that journey as well. Whenever I went, I'd find a turtle and bring it back to Mommy, and I will continue that as well, now that she has passed. I wanted to share that with you today just to show you give you a little view into how each student in ACS touched my mother's life, even though they had no idea, and how our lives as a family was richer because of that. I only hope that we will all continue to live our lives as Mommy would have wanted us to do, and as the school motto from ACS says, to leave the world a better place. Thank you again to all the ACS girls in Australia. And for those of you that are sitting there in the church and listening online, thank you for honoring my mother. Thank you for being with us as a family during this time. And I pray God's blessings on you and your families now and always. Inaka.
Angarabi bakabinaka kabela samaki. Au bakatabuli di meldalata nungwitabi. Nakabaka limnandawe bakasalataki. Sana bakara.